guys, Matt from New Appliances here on another episode of the Sales Labs. We're gonna have a conversation today about cooking. This category is really important. We're gonna do an overview of the category as a whole and then drill down into specifics on future videos. So let's get into it. Cooking products are really important to customers because cooking is one of those essential key human needs. We need to be able to prepare food and do it well. And so there's a huge stratification between an entry product and a high-end product. There's a huge difference between built-in cooking and freestanding cooking. And so we're gonna drill into those details, but it all starts, again, like every one of these videos, with lifestyle questions. You wanna talk to your customers about how they cook, and more specifically, what they cook. If a customer tells you that they do a lot of high heat cooking, say on a wok, or they do a lot of searing, that means to you that you should be selling a range or a cooktop that is designed for that purpose and has the capability to do continuous high temperature searing the way they want. If they tell you, hey, I do a lot of simmering and slow cooking, that means that you need to direct it towards something that has good low temperature performance. And if they tell you they do a mix of everything, that's where professional cooking products and luxury cooking products come in, because they offer that versatility all across the surface. And then when we talk about ovens, it's really important to establish fuel type, and there's options for that. So there are dual fuel ranges that have a gas top and have an electric oven. There are gas ranges that have a gas top and a gas oven. There are electric ranges that have a radiant top and an electric oven. There are electric ranges that have an induction top and an electric oven. And so you want to drill down into how the customer is going to use the product so that you can make a recommendation that makes sense. When we're talking about ovens, you want to ask the same type of lifestyle questions. Well, how do you use your oven? Are you somebody that enjoys baking bread? Are you somebody that enjoys baking, 3 trays of cookies so that you have them ready for the soccer team? Are you somebody that enjoys roasting meats and you like doing a roast chicken or a pot roast every Sunday? These are important lifestyle questions because they're going to help direct your product selections. If a customer is somebody who bakes a lot, that's something where you want to either have a conversation about a dual fuel range or an electric range with either a radiant or an induction top, or an electric wall oven. And the reason for that is electric ovens are very even. Ovens have to let the temperature fall below the set point before they can activate their heating elements. The advantage with electric is because it can be more than just on or off, that temperature falls lower and doesn't overshoot as hard. So you get this very consistent bouncing up and down around the set point. If you do the same experiment with a gas oven, what you'll see is the temperature has to fall lower before the burner can kick on. It's gonna overshoot more and you get this much higher up and down bounce. So if a customer tells you, I love baking bread, I love baking multiple trays of cookies at the same time, I bake cakes on the side as a side hustle, that's an indication to you as a salesperson that you need to be having a conversation with them about buying an electric oven, whether it's dual fuel or it's an electric range or it's an electric wall oven. If instead they say, I enjoy roasting, I like roasted meats, I like roasted vegetables, I like roasted everything. Well, that means that you should be having a conversation with them about buying a gas range or buying a gas wall oven. The advantage with gas is it's a moist heat. So electric heat's very dry. And so when you roast in an electric oven, you tend to dry out what you're cooking because there's no moisture being added back to the food. In a gas oven, as gas burns, it creates moisture. And so that moisture helps retain the moisture in the food, and you get much better roasting results. The other advantage of gas ovens is that on the high end, they can be equipped with an infrared broiler, which allows for a very, very high temperature sear inside the oven that you can't get from either an electric element or a traditional gas tube broiler. So there's a bunch of different stratifications, but they all come back to the same thing. How is the customer going to use this product? There are also a bunch of specialty products out there. So if you have a customer that says, hey, I've got 5 kids and we make dinner at home every night because eating out is way too expensive, but it takes so long. That's your first indication to say, hey, why don't we have a conversation about adding a speed oven to your kitchen? Speed ovens are a great solution for people that need a lot of food but don't have a lot of time to produce it. Speed ovens allow you to use microwave, convection, and sometimes a halogen light source, depending on the manufacturer, to cook anywhere between 2 and 8 times faster than a traditional oven, again, depending on the technology and the brand. The advantage to the customer is they can get food on the table faster. The advantage to them also is that they can get the same results that they would have gotten out of their traditional oven in 15 minutes instead of an hour. So when you're having conversations with customers, you can guide your product selection really around their lifestyle. And that's what we always try to do as salespeople. Have conversations with people about how they're going to use the product and find products that fit that use, rather than selling what we think is a good idea or what we think is a good product and missing out on the opportunity to really improve their lifestyle. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay with us for all of the drill down videos in this series, and I'll catch you on the next one.